Dr. Water, show us the product. I want to see this product.
For sure, for sure. I mean, do you see the bubbles coming here? These
Yeah.
bubbles, this is actually the hydrogen gas. There's an electrolyzer here which breaks water into the hydrogen gas and infuses water with hydrogen gas, right? And this is actually the best water you can drink for your body. The hydrogen that gets infused is a natural antioxidant for your body, and it's also like therapeutic to watch the kind of bubbles that come in.
Welcome back for another episode of the Voice of Generation Climate, TVOGC. Today we have with us a real blast from the past. Our first employee slash colleague at Climes, Yash Verma, who is now the co-founder of Dr. Water, a health-focused company. Yash, what a pleasure to have you with us back again, 4 years later from the first day I met you.
Definitely. Thanks so much, Ani, for having me. And it's indeed a blast from the past. I've enjoyed a lot so much working with you, and very happy to be back as a guest in the podcast.
Amazing, amazing. So Yash has had quite a storied past before he came into Climes, and then of course a lot of time spent with Climes. Then helped set up Equilibrium, and then rolled off very, very ambitiously and gracefully to set up his own venture, which is Dr. Water, which is a health focused company, specifically hydrogen-infused water, right? And the focus is to work with customers in the American market. Yash, what is hydrogen-infused water, and why do we need to be drinking it?
Yeah, definitely, Ani. So, if we look at I always look at water as, a very related subject to the climate itself. I mean, there's a lot of parallels and relations that we can draw, right? And if we look at like the water that we drink every day, right? It almost always takes a back seat. Like it's something that's very underrated. Like people think, let's say people in America, right? They look at tap water as something that they usually drink, which is very contaminated, and almost always even the ROs of the world strip the water away from the minerals, right? Which is where things like hydrogen water comes in. For example, the way hydrogen water works is you split the water into hydrogen gas bubbles through the electrolyzer, and it has a lot of antioxidant benefits. It's if you look at it, like 75% of Americans are chronically dehydrated, and more than 35% of the Americans have some form of systematic illnesses and inflammation. So that is what we are trying to reduce. And hydrogen water is something that has been since 1940s. It's used in Japan, in hospitals, in gyms, etc., and we're trying to bring it to the masses.
So I read that one of the benefits is gut health.
Yeah.
What outside of gut health?
Yeah, so when you basically drink hydrogen infused water, the way it really starts off is first by reducing inflammation. So hydrogen is a natural antioxidant. It's the smallest gas. It goes on to every cell of your body, and it kills the oxidative illnesses, the oxidative stress in the body, which first reduces your inflammation. So we have a lot of moms in Texas, in New York, who have seen reduction in their inflammation pain, in their neck pain, things like that. So apart from reducing inflammation, a lot of fitness dads in California and Florida are drinking hydrogen water, where they are seeing improvement in their energy levels. So inflammation, energy levels, gut health, these are mostly the sort of benefits you can see after drinking hydrogen water.
Okay. The name of the company is Dr. Water. Does this come under the medical recommendation that can be made to an individual, or is it non-medical? Or is it just in the name?
Yeah, a very, very interesting question, Ani. So basically, Dr. Water, what we are trying to build it is, in a way that uh, it's basically a lifestyle brand that we're looking to build. So we have actually partnered with a doctor who helps in recovery of NFL athletes, right? Apart from that, we're also partnering with a lot of doctors who work in physiotherapy and things like that. So we are having that panel of doctor experts with us. But what we are really looking to sort of bring forth is rather than so hydrogen historically has been used for treating symptoms of cancer and diabetes, right? Like to reduce the pain which is a side effect of those treatment. But we are really trying to bring this to the masses, right? And build it like a lifestyle brand. So yeah.
That's really, really interesting. I mean, everyone now thinks of hydrogen as an energy source,
Yeah.
right? But you can go you can play on that too, which is energy to power your house, but energy to power your body.
Oh, very
Yeah,
interesting.
from there,
I love that.
right? That's a good one.
For sure. Even the electrolyzers that are used in the industrial hydrogen setup, there's a lot of parallel to the electrolyzers used in hydrogen water bottle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hydrogen it's a God particle,
Yeah.
right?
I think closest to the God particle
To
anything
the
could
God
ever be.
particle. What was the inspiration behind starting this? And actually, can you talk now a little bit more about your own journey? Because you're a young guy, you went to IIT Kharagpur, and then after that, what all happened? Maybe
Yeah.
talk about the whole story. What's
Yeah.
brought you up to this point of being a founder?
Definitely. So, when I went into KGP, so I mean, my dad is a stockbroker, so I've been doing stock trading when I was a kid.
Yeah, you shared so many stock tips also. None that's
Definitely.
really worked out super
I
well so
mean,
far.
some of them worked out. I think I exited at the right point of time. But yeah, I mean, started off my journey with that, but quickly realized that I like building stuff. So I started a dating app back in college that was basically a blind group dating where Ani with one of his guy friends can match with two girls. You don't know their name or their photo. You just know their designation and interests, and there is no chat group. You meet at a partner restaurant. So it was like a blind group dating concept. We launched it in Calcutta and did a few decent amount of meetups, and unfortunately COVID happened. So started off building that, and then moved to building my own air purification business. So we were building B2B air purifiers, sold it to companies like Reliance, Oxfam, etc., etc. So got to learn about hardware product building, working with manufacturers, B2B things like that. And post that I mean joined Climes as one of the early hires. Uh, I mean, you know the
Or it
story,
was a
right? Work,
company also.
yeah. It was Project Climes back in the
Yeah.
days. So joined there. I mean, worked through the carbon accounting, carbon markets sort of things for like close to 3.5 years. And I mean, after that, I sort of realized that essentially I wanted to build something in the intersection of impact and health. And one thing we looked at was that in the US, like a lot of people are actually buying like cartons of small plastic bottles, and there's a big wave coming of reusable plastic bottles, right? Like sustainability and climate is, from a consumer perspective, is actually much more evolved there. So with that tailwinds in mind, like we wanted to build products where you could sort of avoid that even plastic wastage happening, and also at the same time have health benefits. And I think that's where sort of Dr. Water came into being.
Very, very cool. Very cool. So this is Generation Climate, the voice of Generation Climate. And the two lens that I look at this from mainly is you're building a health company. But one, you are a Gen Z person, right?
Yeah.
You have through your life and through your work been a Generation Climate person. And I wanted to get that perspective of someone working in it, becoming a builder, and now building in a not so unrelated space. Climate does affect everything, right? So you're building in health, but you have a sustainable angle there. That's the second lens I want to bring up too. So Dr. Water is a company. In what all manners are you sustainable? You are helping avoid single-use plastic bottles, like you just mentioned, right? Because of the reusable bottle angle. What more? What are the different sustainability initiatives?
Yeah, definitely. So one
Embedded
is
from day one as a brand.
Yeah. So definitely, Ani, like one is, we avoid thousands of plastic bottles every month, right? We haven't really tracked that number yet, which is, I think, something we should start doing. But that's one thing that we're definitely doing. Second is, from day one, we have sort of looked at how can we reduce our carbon emissions, right? If you look at the carbon emissions from our setup, right, like apart from obviously the manufacturing related things, there's a lot of logistics emissions that happens. So we've looked at wherever we could optimize our supply chains and warehousing logistics. So we have two warehouses which is heavily optimized to ensure the time taken and the emissions caused during the delivery is as low as possible. Apart from that, our deliveries are also carbon neutral. We support two different projects, one in Africa and one in LATAM, across clean drinking water and clean cooking, which goes really well with our brand mission as well, to support people with access to high quality water and good health. So these are few of the ways that we are trying to be sustainable. Apart from that, obviously we are doing some experiments with sustainable recycled packaging, but as any other young brand, we also face the cost constraints and challenges, right? But I do keep looking at what are the other ways we could embed sustainability into our supply chain. So that's something we keep looking at and doing experiments on.
Nice, nice. So I remember a couple of months ago, I ran into you and Sritara.
Yeah.
And it's at Cafe Kala, near our old office. And she said, Yash used to be first with heart in the Captain Planet scheme of things, first heart because he ran a dating app. Then you went to air, right? What you built after that was in the solving for air. Then within Climes that eventually spun off Equilibrium. On the Equilibrium project development side, it was Earth. There's a lot of nature-based solutions.
Yeah, definitely. The soil part.
You've worked on. And now it's water. Right? That's Captain Planet right there. Which one's left? Fire. Only fire is left.
No, I think
you have a live Captain Planet, which is actually a really cool, complete form of generation time.
No, I've always, really loved hearing that analogy, Ani. And I feel like it's a privilege more than anything like that. I have, been given that opportunity for me to work across each of these fronts. You can only connect these dots looking backwards, right? When you're actually living day-to-day life, it's always about what's the next best opportunity where you could have that impact across the board, right? For yourself and for everyone else. So, I feel privileged to be able to do my bit on that.
So now with Dr. Water, what are some of the big challenges you have faced as a builder? And what are some areas that you are looking for help on? Because it takes a village to raise a kid, it takes more than a village to build a company.
Yeah.
Right? Lots of stakeholders, investors, right? Colleagues, customers, all need to play a part. So how has that journey been for you? Because it's been about a little over 6 months now?
Yeah. I think we've been live since the last 8 to 9 months.
8 to 9 months.
Yeah. And
what are some of the big challenges that have come along the way, and what are some areas you're looking for help in?
Definitely. So, there are a lot of positives that have happened in the last few months. For example, I think we've crossed 250K somewhere around in our revenue. So from revenue perspective, our distribution engine has been growing well. Apart from that, we're also doing some partnerships with doctors and athletes across the world. So those brand partnerships are definitely coming into fruition. But one challenge that I think every D2C brand sort of faces in their early journey is how do you build that that connectivity, that relation with our consumers, where they start recognizing this as a household name. And that is like a social reputation which takes years to build, right? And that's one thing that we want to do in the right manner, so that we're not building a 1 or 2 year old company, we're building this for decades. So with that in mind, how do we build that in the right way? What steps do we take? The partnerships we make is one thing that at least we keep thinking about. Are we in the right path for that, etc., etc. Apart from that, obviously, sustainability is one core theme that really strikes with our audience, right? Because just to give you some more context, a lot of our audience is aged 30 plus, right? So these are moms and dads in the US, and especially young parents really care about sustainability, right? If I am investing in a product, does it have adverse effects on the planet, right? And that is another area where Ani, we would also love your help, your advice on how do we integrate sustainability in the best way on our brand, because that's something you keep helping a lot of brands on. right? And that is again a problem for us as a young brand as well, selling in the US. So I think building the right brand and integrating sustainability, given it matters a lot to our customers, are one of the important problems that we're facing currently. And the areas where we could would love help on.
I think a couple of months down the line, because there's so many areas on the materials one you mentioned for packaging, carbon one for more efficient deliveries, right? End of life, destruction potentially.
Yeah.
Even though you're avoiding so much plastic, there's an end of life.
For sure.
It'll be worth looking at. Do you have a name for your customers? Like, do you have a name for the community? You're Dr. Water, but what are they?
Yeah, so we have a Facebook community where a lot of our super users are there. It's called Drops of Wellness. That's the name of the community. And we haven't put in like a name to our community. I think that's something we definitely should do.
I like that. Drops of Wellness.
Yeah.
And then the people in it would be called Drops.
That's an idea for sure.
No, yet to come up with a name.
Yeah.
No, it's nice. Like, we have Generation Climate here. I'm just thinking, nice to know like a name for the community you belong to.
Yeah, so we work out of a villa here in Gurgaon. We call this as Dr. Villa.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. So far, you're in the US market, building from here.
Yeah.
Do you foresee you'll expand into other markets too? And what about the Indian market? Because now I think people are getting a lot more health conscious even over here. Do you think that's real? It's a real movement? Is that an opportunity? Not really?
Yeah, I think Indian market as well. If you look at like the kind of trends that are there, like there are brands like Traya, a lot of brands on gut health, for example. So and protein has become like a very big thing in India, right? So there are these sort of categories that are coming up in India as well. If you look at like what we really started with, right? Like around water, like within water also, a lot of like hydration brands today are coming up in India. We look at ourselves as we wanted to build a global brand from day one, right? And if you look at the market opportunity and if you look at the intensity of the problem that consumer face in the US, that's much higher than the one in India, right? And the awareness around hydrogen water is much more. For example, it was featured in Joe Rogan's podcast, right? So hydrogen water was featured. The guest was Gary Brecka. I don't exactly remember the episode name, but it was featured there. Like athletes and celebrities like Dana White, Mike Tyson, a lot of them are drinking hydrogen water. So that level of awareness is already there, which is why we sort of started building in the US itself. And India is always on the cards. We'll just see, when we end up prioritizing it.
So you got to stay nimble.
Yeah.
Stay nimble now and wherever the opportunity is, you can.
Definitely. So, and focus is a big thing, which I've learned from you as well.
Yeah. Because you've gone through the journey of doing everything. And then learning the hard way that doing less, doing it better, and knowing why you're doing it is the only secret sauce, right? So within Dr. Water, you have that clarity. Few products, one market, right? And then one message.
Definitely. We started selling we were just experimenting in Australia, UK and Canada as well. But we decided to focus on one geography, which is, US, because of the opportunity, and Canada is something we're starting this month. So, we'll just continue focusing and maturing here, and then eventually we'll decide to shift in other geographies as well.
For already educated customers, they have converted. They just need to find your product, right? For new people who've not really tried hydrogenated water before, like me, or so many people I can think of who would be curious but have never tried it. How do they first get hooked into it? Like, what's the appeal? What's the message? What's the main hook?
Definitely. See, fundamentally, if you look at this product, right, like it sells for around $100 to $120. So it's not exactly an impulse purchase, right? It's not something that you'll think, okay, let me try, I'm just gonna buy. You would research about it. You would ask, maybe you will see someone using it, and then you will think, okay, maybe it's good, right? This person is feeling the benefits. Maybe I should also give it a try. So the way we are approaching, educating our customers is like, firstly, we've identified like there is a set of like yoga moms, fitness dads. Like there's a category of this specific audience, which may not be sensitized to hydrogen water, but they're feeling those problems at the highest, right? Like for example, Ani, I know you go for yoga, you go for a lot of these fitness activities, so you would think of making sure, the health part of things, right? Like making sure are hydrating well, taking the right supplements, are they having the right benefits to your lifestyle only, right? So these are the kind of people to which we get sensitized to, and we sort of showcase our content, our partnerships with registered doctors, our partnerships with fitness athletes who have seen the benefits alongside us, and through that content we start building that awareness. And we also offer a 60-day money back on our website on all our products, right? So that also sort of allows us to give confidence to our users that if you don't feel any benefits, if you don't feel it's not right, you can just return it to us. So through the content, along with the right partnerships, and through our the way we've designed our offers to our customers, I think that's how we sort of looking at building that awareness and sensitizing our customers.
Yeah, it's actually quite educational. Like I learned a lot of new stuff on drwater.store.
Yeah.
I think it's very, very educational. I think particularly although it's a climate focused theme that we typically do, is what you're working on is an extension of that.
Yeah.
You're building a health first but sustainable company. And I think there's a lot of this education that has to be done for people overall, because these are new territories, right?
Yeah.
And very few people are fully aware of all the options, how to deal with their health best, right? What supplements to take, what not to take. And yeah, I think it just comes with a lot of like education and behavior change.
Yeah.
And I find that the most interesting part about what you're doing as well, because you are doing behavior
Definitely.
change.
Yeah,
From normal
100%.
water to hydrogenated water. It's that small nudge behavioral shift has so many benefits, right? I'm yet to
100%,
try it
yeah.
myself, but I'm going to ask.
For sure, Ani. I mean, I think you really hit the nail on the head. And I think that has parallels across both health and sustainability as well, right? Even sustainability is something which has benefits over the long term, but it requires behavior change in the start, right? So I think in that sense, like both the problem statements are quite linked. And I mean, I'm also happy to see the kind of partnerships Climes is doing, supporting brands in different ways to become sustainable. I think that also is a behavior change at its best, where these brands will start seeing benefits over time.
It's a lot of time of like just starting small and seeing the benefits and then themselves wanting more.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
We've seen that play out a couple of times now. But yeah, behavior change does take time, but it's more sticky.
Yeah,
Once you finally manage to do it, it sticks a lot longer, right? And that's, I think, what we really need on both fronts. On the climate front, to make us a more climate positive society, and on the health front, to make us a more health aware society. Right?
Yeah,
like,
for
imagine
sure.
if we can manage to do both those things. Reverse
I mean,
climate change,
we'll have
but also
to.
become more healthy.
We'll not have any other option.
We have to
Yeah,
both,
yeah.
right? Become more healthy and reverse climate change. And then, like, humans and planet are both healthy.
Yeah, for sure.
Great. What a lovely conversation, and like truly inspired by what you're building and achieved in such a short period of time. I've seen you, I think, from like right from the beginning in your career, and I'm always thrilled. I think said it to you that time also, like always thrilled when somebody from Climes goes and builds their company, and I think that's the model to follow now. You really like you will serve as inspiration to everybody who follows.
Thank you so much, Ani, and thanks for all your support as well. I think everyone from Climes has been so supportive, and I mean that also sort of gives me the confidence to go out there and get work done, get things done, because I know I have that support and backing, and always happy to also see Climes growing quarter on quarter, and always helpful to us and to everyone. So Yeah, thanks so much, and really enjoyed the conversation.
How did you building? My question is it easy? Is it easy to build and, be, and do what you're doing?
I mean, I
What
think
parts do you find easy? What do you not?
I think like it's quite personal in that sense, right? Like for example, uh, I've always found things which are in the intersection of, let's say, science and business to be interesting. Even that's something I used to do even at Clients before. So which is why looking at things like our the product side, the how are we handling the manufacturing capital, right? These are the sort of things which I mostly look at, right, and I enjoy doing. And uh, I mean, working with you for many years, like I've also enjoyed hiring as a process, right? So I feel that's also something.
So how I used to just still do. Be a people magnet.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that has actually been quite helpful. Like I've been doing a few speaking engagements in Delhi University, and a lot of good hires, potential hires, are coming from there, right? So it's something that is 100% like a 100x multiplier on whatever
Yeah.
you do.
Right. People are everything.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I think those are some of the things that, because I've done before, like naturally comes to me. But I would still say like it doesn't get easier. But I think easy is not the right, I mean, dimension to look at. I think the most important thing is, are you having fun and are you growing, right? I think those are two things which I look at, like for myself and for my team as well. And as long as that's happening, I think, I mean, life's good. Ups and downs will
Yeah.
keep coming, but I mean, as long as we continuously compound, I think like results will naturally come.
On that note, we shall end here. Yash Verma of Dr. Water, what a pleasure having you with us on this episode of EVOGC.
Thank you so much, Ani.